For this build, we'll be using the Thermaltake Core P3 wall mount chassis. I decided to go with the red chassis. I really like the color. I think it really contrasts well with the graphics card and motherboard. We're gonna go ahead and mount the feet. Let's go ahead and unbox the 4090. For the power supply, we're going to be using the MPG A850G. Obviously, we got the power supply, which is really beautiful. I love the dragon symbol on the side. We'll be using the Ryzen 3700X and a AMD Wraith Prism cooler. I picked up a Crucial P3 M.2. It's definitely slower than the Samsung 980 Pro I have on my main build. We're going to be using G.Skill Trident Z Neo memory. Probably the best looking RAM on the market, in my opinion. Alright, let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to go ahead and take off the back cover. Then we're going to go ahead and do some cable management. I really love cable management on this case. It's so easy. Alright, we're going to go ahead and start mounting the power supply. We're going to put on the brackets. We'll go ahead and slide the power supply in here. Screw it down. Alright, let's go ahead and plug everything in. Then we'll go ahead and route those cables. Get ready for the motherboard. Put on the motherboard supporting screws, bolt those down. Alright, we're gonna go and put down the motherboard. I chose a renewed Asus Strix B550F. I really like the way this one looks. Definitely not as good as some of the higher end models, but still an ROG Strix board. Looks pretty nice. Alright, we'll go ahead and plug everything in, start plugging stuff down onto the motherboard. Power, CPU power, USBs, all that good stuff. Alright, we're going to go ahead and lay down the 3700X. Man, I never get tired of putting down an AMD processor. I don't know what it is. It's just so satisfying. Go ahead and put down thermal paste, and we're going to go ahead and lay down the cooler, that Wraith Prism cooler, which is going to look so dope. We'll go ahead and plug it in. Go ahead and drop down this beautiful G.Skill RAM. Again, probably the best looking RAM on the market, my opinion. Alright, let's go ahead and install the M.2, our storage for this build. Alright, let's go ahead and drop this overpowered big boy onto this. So make sure to secure it well and make sure to plug in your power really firmly. We don't want anything catching on fire. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at how beautiful this system looks. I won't be doing that in this build, but I will be in as I continue to upgrade this system. Here's a look of what the tempered glass looks like. My camera can't capture how great it looks in person. I really can't wait to get this thing mounted on the wall. Alright guys, let's go ahead and move into some performance. Nothing too crazy, but I did load up 3 games and play it on this totally not optimal system. Alright, so first here you'll see that I booted up some Starship Trooper. A game I've been really enjoying, but that definitely has some bugs and not perfectly optimized right now. I wasn't extremely happy with how it played, especially at first. When I first booted up the game, I was getting a lot of stuttering. After a while, it smoothed out. I really have no idea why. I know a few days later the game did have an update and it seemed to even play better after that, so obviously this is a game in early access, so they're still putting out quite a few updates to smooth it out. But overall, I was decently impressed. It definitely does not play nearly as well as it does on my main system, which is rocking that 5800X 3D along with the 4070 Ti Strix, as well as 32 gigabytes of RAM, something that this system definitely could benefit from. Long gone are the days that 16 gigs are a standard. I highly recommend getting above 16 gigabytes. Now I am not using a game capture card, I am using OBS, so I can't show you the footage that I get when I play without OBS, but it is considerably better. I was able to get into the 90s FPS on Starship Troopers when playing without OBS running. I highly recommend teaming up the 4090 with a much more powerful processor, and in my opinion, I highly recommend a duo of between the 5800X 3D and either a 4070 Ti or a 4080. That will be an amazing system right there. If you're trying to do 4K, then obviously, yeah, you might want to move up to the 4090. But either way, definitely don't do like this build and throw all your money into the GPU. Alright, so the next game is Spider-Man. It's completely maxed out here except for crowd and traffic. Those are on low currently. Frame generation is on, and I have it set on quality right now. Ray tracing is also on, and I just have to be honest, I'm not a fan of this at all. Again, I can't really begin to state that you need to put your money into the CPU as well. You can't just buy a fancy graphics card and expect great performance. The entire time I was around 75 frames and I was dipping as low as 46, as you can see on NVIDIA. The game is still playable, but you could just get way better performance on a 4070 Ti paired up with a 5800X 3D or a 4080 paired up with the same processor, and even some other processors. You don't have to go with the 5800X 3D. That's just what I recommend. I don't know if I'm crazy, but frame generation is just way more noticeable on this build. I just can tell it's there, and it really just doesn't look good. It makes everything look fuzzy. But when I play using frame generation on my 4070 Ti, along with that 32 gigs of RAM and that 5800X 3D, it looks beautiful. I can barely tell that frame generation is even on. And even if I don't want to play with frame generation, I can. Alright, now this is sounding all negative, but let's move on to the next game, which is Halo. Halo Infinite, Halo Infinite actually plays really well on this system. It plays pretty much perfectly fine. And again, I'm using OBS in the background on everything, which takes a load on whatever you're running. So FPS, you can expect to get a little bit more FPS out of everything that I've shown so far if you're not planning on trying to record or anything like that. But Halo played great. It was fine. No issues whatsoever. I had the game completely maxed out, ray tracing on, and all that fancy and good stuff. But yeah, anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of the gameplay. But anyways, guys, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please like and subscribe. I'm going to keep upgrading this system, and I'm going to get it mounted on the wall and switch around some other parts. So subscribe if you want to see all that stuff. All right, guys, this is the Spaceman, and I'm checking out. Thanks.
I think not. Nearing victory. Ball dropped. Overshield available. Enemy has the ball. Ball dropped. We have the ball. Double kill. We're close. We have the ball. Victory. Our forces have seized the enemy flag. No scope. Double kill. We have eyes on the enemy flag. Allies claiming a zone. Zone lost. Power weapons on the field. Ground vehicles on route.
The team is close to total control.
An ally has captured a zone. Hostiles are capturing a zone. Power weapons inbound. You're quite lethal with that. Hostiles are capturing a zone. The enemy has seized a zone. Power weapons now available. Exquisite. Weapons inbound.
New zone ready to capture.
An ally is claiming the zone. You're quite